Ladies, my heart aches for you because I know if you're watching this video that there's a chance that you feel that your husband or partner is cheating on you right now. Problem is though, is if you bring up some of these things to him, he's probably going to gaslight you if he hasn't already. He's probably going to make you feel like, there's something wrong with you that you're thinking this way, or it's like, no way, I'm not cheating on you. What are you, stupid? So these sorts of things can go on a lot in relationships and it can create confusion. What we need is certainty. We need some certainty around, is this actually happening? And even if he says it's not, are there some specific behaviors that are going on that may provide you with more of that certainty that he's engaging in an affair or cheating on you on some level? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through 5 signs that I've seen over the years in my practice that your husband or partner is cheating on you. Now the first sign is that there's a real shifting of a common routine and common behaviors. See, when in a relationship or in a marriage, there tends to be a bit of a routine. There tends to be some, consistent behaviors that go on over a period of time. But if you're noticing that suddenly, you're spending way more time at work and there's not an actual precise explanation for that. What I mean by that is, is he on some project that has taken a huge amount of time and he's talking about it lots and he's sharing that with you and so on. If he's being a little bit cryptic about it, or if he's engaging in other kinds of behaviors that are unlike him, that aren't common for him, then this can often be a sign that he might be having an affair or cheating on you on some level. Now the second behavior that you'll often see is that there's excess projection. What that means is when a person is actually off cheating, what happens here is that he's holding on to a lot of guilt. Most people know right from wrong. They know what they're doing is not right. But in order to justify those behaviors, they then spend all this time thinking about all the things that you messed up on, all the things that were problematic in the relationship. And they build up all that resentment, all that frustration, so that it's a justification for the kind of behaviors that they're engaging in. And rather than owning it and rather than honoring it, let's blame you for everything. So there will often be a huge amount of blame, a huge amount of punishment, a huge amount of criticism and so on. And what that is it's not so much about your issues or anything that you've done, it's the guilt that they're holding on to that after a while they can't take it. So let's project it onto you so that you are the recipient of that kind of behavior, and it helps them to get that level of justification for what he's actually doing right now. Now, does that always mean that when there's excess projection that there's always infidelity going on? No. But what you want to look at is, are there lots of these signs appearing in your relationship or marriage? Thirdly, are you finding that he's engaging in some weird behaviors on his phone? One of the things I noticed in a past relationship where I was cheated on was that my ex, she was actually, I remember I'd get home and she'd be on her phone and there'd be kind of like these little smirks on her phone or a little laugh, and it just felt different. It felt completely different when she was doing that. And I could sense something just wasn't quite right. And I've seen this over the years as well. Whenever I've spoken to my clients, the ones that have been cheated on, they'll always tell me that their husband was on their phone, that they were always texting, that they were being real sheepish about it. They wouldn't allow their partner to look at anything on their phone. They would always, change the passcode and all those sorts of things. So if you're seeing some of those things, that can potentially be a sign that there's an affair going on. Now just quickly, if you want to heal from infidelity, if you want to save your marriage, if you want to work on growing yourself, then I'd recommend that you hit that subscribe button below, and every week you'll get notified when I upload my latest videos, just teaching you all about these topics and really helping you to create the most authentic relationship and the most authentic shifts within yourself. Now the fourth sign is that your intuition is just telling you something is not quite right. I can't tell you, ladies, how important this is. I know that so many times in relationships, people get shut down. They get caught up in these feelings of guilt. They feel like they're being gaslit all the time, and it forces them to question what's going on. But the most important thing that we can actually do in life in general is to have trust in ourselves. And that means trusting in our intuition. You know, regardless of what I say or what anyone else says on YouTube or whatever platform, don't forget that you're the one in your relationship right now. And you know your husband or partner in a really, really good way. There might be aspects of him you don't, but you've seen these behaviors regularly. You know how that routine goes. You know what connection is like. You know what things have been like when you've been intimate and you've had these beautiful bonds. You also know what it's like when it's not going well. But there is often a difference between when it's not going well and when someone is actually cheating on you. And that delta, that difference, that's something you've got to be mindful of. And that's where your intuition comes into play. See, I believe women have such an incredible connection with their heart and just with their own sense of intuition. And so many times I've spoken to my clients, and even if we haven't known that their partner was cheating on them, there was a part of them that just felt something was off. It just didn't feel right. And honestly, 99% of the time, it was absolutely happening. So trust in your own intuition. If there's a part of your gut that is telling you something is not quite right, then that can absolutely be a sign that he's cheating on you. And finally, has there been some really strange changes when it comes to intimacy? A lot of people, a lot of men, when they're engaging in an affair with someone, will often, in bed with their wife or their partner, end up just sort of turning over when there's a possibility of intimacy. If you're finding that you're having to initiate a lot more and he's kind of turning over, or you're just not feeling that connection even when you are intimate, that can often be a sign that he's actually cheating on you. You see, there's a variation of behaviors across some guys when they're cheating on their partner. Some guys feel huge amounts of guilt. When they feel that guilt, they won't want to be intimate. So they'll shut that off completely. They won't want to. And even when they do, they feel bad about it. They feel awful about it. Why? Because it feels like for them that it's just only giving more hope to their partner. And that creates more of a problem for themselves. So they'll often, feel guilty, or they'll just shut off intimacy completely. So if you're seeing that kind of behavior from your particular husband or partner, then that can be a sign that he's potentially engaging in an affair. Now, you'll find other men who will just be more controlling. Even if they're engaging in an affair, they'll still carry on with intimacy with you. But what you'll often find is the combination of some of these other behaviors that I've explained in the previous points. Is there excess projection? Is there excess control? Is there excess blame? Is there weird behaviors going on in terms of phone? Does your intuition just feel wrong? Also, and just to add to this a little bit, have you found that you've been in relationships in the past and the common theme was that your partner had cheated on you? Now, in no way am I blaming any of this on you, but sometimes, and this is more from a spiritual perspective, we have deeper wounds that we need to work on. And we can often manifest partners who engage in those types of behaviors to force us to heal some of those wounds, to force us to evolve as people. Now, like I say, I don't say this lightly. I'm not saying this to blame you or anything like that. I say this because I care, and I want nothing more for my clients to heal so that they can make sure that they're with the right partner, that they're with a partner that is genuinely going to love them and just be truly committed to you. That is the most important thing right now. And you've got to be aware of some of these signs, because I've seen in the past with certain clients who have been brought up in an environment where maybe their parents have cheated on each other and so on, and they're surrounded by that quite a bit. They end up attracting someone who does the very same thing. These patterns can occur. So we want to try and limit that as much as we possibly can. Now, that requires a little bit of deeper healing, and I totally appreciate that. It can be a little bit challenging. So what I recommend you do is make sure you get some help. Make sure you get some personalized support from a therapist or a coach or someone that can actually help you to go deep into your own growth and into your own healing. If you connect with my videos and really enjoy what you're hearing, then I'd love to be of service to you through my program, The Authentic Relationship System. It's an amazing program that I've created personally that provides you with the greatest level of support going around. It's going to provide you with a curriculum that's going to help you to understand so much about relationships, about men, about communication, and all the nuts and bolts of what makes a relationship flourish. It's going to give you the support that you need, both one-on-one and on a group level, and allow you to connect with some incredible women who have gone through the sort of challenges that you might be going through right now, have been able to heal from it, to be able to overcome it, and just create incredible shifts in their lives as well as their marriage. So what I'd encourage you to do is in the description section below, just click on that link which says book a call with me. Just click on that link, choose a time that works for you, then I'll contact you at that scheduled time just so I can learn a little bit more about your situation, understand some of the challenges that you're facing, and really set a pathway for you to be able to move forward. So once again, click on that link, choose a time that works, and I'll contact you at that scheduled time. So I hope all these points make sense in terms of the infidelity piece. If you've liked it, make sure you hit that like button below. If you want to get more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. And do let me know if you've got any questions or takeaways or comments or anything at all. I love hearing from you. My mission is to serve you. That's what matters the most to me. So if there's anything that you're struggling with, or if you want to give me an idea of what you want my next video to be, just write them below and I'll make sure to respond to every single one of you. So what I'd recommend you do now is, if you are in a position where your relationship or your marriage is not quite where you want it to be, and even if you're thinking that there's some form of infidelity, I'm a real big believer that it's good to sort of understand what has happened in the past and whether some of these challenges or things that have happened in the past have led to this current point. So my recommendation is to check out this video above, where I talk you through these 4 particular mistakes that I've seen a lot of women make in relationships and what you can do to really rectify those and begin to move forward. Thank you so much. God bless, and I'll talk to you in the next video.